The cold wind carried the kind of silence that made Trent feel the weight of every mistake he'd ever made. He had come to collect the money Alan owed him, money he desperately needed. But the moment Alan opened the door, shoulders slumped and eyes swollen with defeat, Trent already knew the truth. "I'm bankrupt," Alan whispered. "All I can offer is her." Out in the back, tied to a leaning post, stood a mare so fragile that even the breeze seemed too heavy for her. Ribs sharp against her skin, wounds crusted along her legs, hooves so overgrown they curled. She lifted her head as if it hurt to remember how. Trent should have walked away. Instead, he untied her gently. "Come on, girl. I won't let them send you off." Under a torn saddle blanket, he found papers, Zahara's desert rose. A faded photo showed a glowing, spirited Arabian, nothing like the trembling shadow before him. Days turned into weeks as Trent and Dr. Andrews rebuilt her piece by piece. Warm mash, careful trims, whispered encouragement. Slowly, the dullness faded. Her coat shimmered again. Her eyes brightened. And somewhere in the quiet moments, while brushing her mane at dawn or feeling her breath against his chest, Trent realized he wasn't just saving her. She was saving him too. When Christie, a renowned Arabian breeder, saw Zahara, she nearly staggered. "Do you know what she is?" "Her lineage is royal." Offers flooded in, tens of thousands, then more. Trent looked at Zahara, standing tall, proud, reborn. "She's not for sale," he said softly. "She's family." Because Zahara was no longer a debt paid. She was proof that broken things can rise again. And so could he. The Montana heat pressed heavy over the dry earth as Trent wiped the sweat from his brow, praying for a day without bad news. But when Alan rode in, shoulders slumped, eyes hollow with shame, Trent's heart tightened before a word was spoken. "I can't repay the 3,000, Alan murmured. "All I have is her." He pointed toward a frail shape tethered in the dust. The mare looked more ghost than living creature, ribs sharp, coat dull as ash, wounds raw and infected. Trent stepped closer, feeling anger, grief, and helplessness twist together. He could refuse. He should refuse. But the thought of her being hauled to slaughter felt like a knife. "I'll take her," he whispered. "Give me every document you have." Back home, under the kitchen lamp, Trent and Elizabeth sifted through papers, registration forms, pedigrees, faded show photos of a radiant Arabian dancing under arena lights. Zahara, once majestic, now abandoned. Elizabeth touched the picture gently. "Maybe she can come back." The vet confirmed she was malnourished but savable. So the slow work began. Warm feedings, careful grooming, long nights where Trent talked to her in the quiet barn while storms rolled over the plains. Weeks passed, and she began to rise, eyes brightening, muscles returning, her silver-gray coat catching light like moonlit water. Christie arrived one afternoon and froze. Good Lord, she's straight Egyptian. Royal bloodlines. The world learned fast. Offers poured in, 50,000, 70, then over 100. Trent turned them all away. Zahara stood with him in his darkest weeks. He wouldn't abandon her in her brightest. At sunset, she lifted her head proudly, glowing against the horizon. Trent laid a hand on her neck. "You were never a payment. You were a blessing."